problem with the games industry right now, specifically the AAA games industry, is there's just not that many new ideas or risks being taken. So many games now are just like an iteration or a copy of a copy. And taking an idea and trying to improve on it isn't inherently bad. I mean, if you look at like Overwatch and then, Marvel Rivals is clearly inspired by Overwatch, but that doesn't mean Marvel Rivals is bad. But then there's franchises like Call of Duty, which are just losing any semblance of identity that they had with ridiculous cosmetics. And I think that's why I'm finding myself being drawn more towards indie games where developers can make the game they actually want to make rather than what's forced on them by publishers. And I think in that indie space is where you'll often find games that you've been wanting for a long time. And I'm always really happy when games like that pop up on my feed. I just recently finished the Song of Ice and Fire books, and it really got me thinking about how much I want a Game of Thrones game, like an actual proper good RPG. And we might not get that from a AAA studio anytime soon, but there are clearly indie developers out there who want the same thing and are kind of catering to that niche. And I want to spotlight a few that have popped up for me that look really good. The first one is this game called Dragon Twin, which is purely about dragon flying. So there's not any ground combat or anything like that, but it's got Total War style battles and armies and exploration. Like, you can see here how incredible this game looks. The animations are just absolutely insane. Like, the physics of the flight and everything is just out of this world. And you can customize your own dragon as well. There's environmental destruction. It's purely focused on the dragon flying experience, and it just looks absolutely insane. And then another one I've seen, which is basically the opposite, it's like a boots on the ground dungeon crawler, is called Expedition into Darkness. It's basically like a dark medieval fantasy version of Helldivers, where you go in as a group, a co-op group of I think 4 or 5 players, and you basically go through these dungeons and fight like loads of different types of enemies and hordes of undead and zombies and skeletons, ogres, dragons, all kinds. And it looks really good. The combat looks really grounded and brutal. It's not really quite Souls-like. It's a bit more like physics-based. But again, this just looks amazing. There's magic as well. Like, you can see all these different enemy types and just how insane it looks. And it kind of reminds me of like a Night's, like if you were the Night's Watch in Game of Thrones, like going on a ranging or beyond the wall. This is what that kind of fulfills. So I randomly come across both of these games and I'm like, wow, they look awesome. But what if I want to do both in one game? That's the only thing that's kind of missing here. And I'm scrolling away, and then along comes Sagas of Lumen, which has dragon riding, it has combat on the ground, it has magic, exploration, the whole works. Now, it might not do combat on the ground quite as well as Expedition, and it might not do dragon gameplay quite as well as Dragon Twin, but it does combine both, and it does look really good. Like, you can jump from a cliff, and your dragon can save you in midair. And yeah, like, all 3 of these games just look incredible in their own ways. So if you're ever sat thinking, oh, I wish this game existed or that game existed, like, why doesn't this company make that game? Chances are someone is working on the game of your dreams, but it's an indie game. And it might not have the budget and the manpower and the graphics of the AAA game, but what they tend to have is a lot more heart and soul and genuine creativity behind it. And I think this is what's really good about development tools being so easy to access these days. I mean, Unreal Engine 5, for its faults, is very easy to access if you have a decent PC. And that's when you end up with, games like this, which look really good. So if there is that like perfect dream game that you're looking for, in my case, it would just be, YouTube dragon riding games, and then Sagas of Lumen and Dragon Twin will come up. And they probably are out there. If you Google the type of gameplay you're looking for, chances are you'll come across an indie game that has it. But better yet, if there isn't, you can start making it yourself.